is when it comes to anything, we are controlling it with Python, right? Like, or even Rust, C sharp, C++, right? Like, fucking, even probably a little bit of PHP in there, fucking a couple of little lines of little sexy PHP in there, right? A little bit of JavaScript to play a little Tetris on the side when you're bored. You know what I mean? Little hint of that little baby in there, like, mwah. You know what I mean? And like all of that, like if we can code that property, we understand that property, we can just create that property, right? All right. Well, now we've created a scale that is 10 negative the size of keeping photons from bouncing, and now we can just go do that in space, and we create that environment at 900 megatimes scale, right? That's like a number that's just like, oh, okay, and then all of a sudden Jupiter just gets sucked into a sock size hole, and that'd be cool. We don't need Jupiter
between them, where the logical qubits are embedded into the physical qubits, but in the way that in a quantum error correcting code, that embedding is done in a non-local way using entanglement. And if you can do that, then you can prove that you can protect the logical degrees of freedom from errors that act locally on the physical qubits. And so that was the thing that I needed, is that the mathematics I needed was already there. It had been invented by people who were trying to think about how to build quantum computers.
And so should I think about this as an analogy, as a fortuitous coincidence that people have been working on that problem and it can be ported over here? Or is it like deeper? Is this like some sense that there's a level of quantum computation at the root of reality?
I think it's both, right? So, historically, in terms of figuring it out, it was, of course, just luck that I happened to be interested in quantum computers, and I happened to know enough about quantum error correction that I could recognize that it had the solution to the problem I wanted to solve about quantum gravity. That's how mathematics, right? It often goes that way, where if you have a nice set of mathematical ideas, they're usually good for many things, not just maybe the thing that you originally invented.
Yeah, Riemannian geometry and general relativity being a case in point.
Yeah, certainly being an example, and we can think of many more examples.
Yeah.
But I think that...
Yeah, he knows an entry, I wouldn't expect the guy to handle himself well in like Skrelly chord, but who knows?
Logic where you have the
imagine Brian Greene just turning up one day, and imagine being the 1 of 25 when like everyone in there would be talking great conversations, would be very, very strange. I think it'll become too serious too quick. As I said,
you have the logical and the physical degrees.
That's not what anyone wants
of quantum gravity,
in life. You realize that when you,
degrees of freedom,
especially when you hang around Americans,
of one set of useful or emergent degrees.
Yeah, there's definitely like this weird separation switch that I guess maybe I've been unemployed too long, or I never took employment seriously, or maybe it's just an American thing. But when you're like not working, you're not working, right? You're doing something else.
Degrees of freedom being embedded into another is in general how you should think about things being